Hello everyone, I'm Slosh. Welcome back for another Super Mario Strikers tutorial. With the release of Nintendo Switch Online, Super Mario Strikers, or SMS for short, has gotten a small uptick in the player count, and the people want more. If you haven't watched the previous video, pause this one and watch it, as we'll be building on the techniques from that. So today, we'll be going over 5 more shots to learn. These are still very useful shots, but are still a bit more niche compared to the previous 5 shots. Before that, I do want to plug the Strikers Discord. There are active channels for each game, so if you have any questions about SMS or any other Mario Strikers game, or want to play with other people online, join the Discord. We also frequently have tournaments, including one right now, just for newer players. First off, we are starting with a shot popularized by a Canadian. That's right, it's called a European, or Euro for short. If you are in the area for a corner shot, but don't have time to fire one off, this is a good alternative. Throw a lob shot to the far post, switch to one of your players that is in that area, and try to score off the rebound. Critter will usually try to block the shot that flies over his head. This creates a small opening where the goal is empty. This is a high variance shot, where sometimes Critter will just grab it, sometimes it hits flat off the rear wall and bounces way too far away, sometimes it bounces right back to Critter, and sometimes it just straight up goes in. This will take a bit of practice to start reading where the ball will go on the rebound, and how to time your shot correctly so you don't whiff. Next up, we are staying in that corner area with the Nachos. This is another loose ball shot like the Euro, but in a different form. Firstly, let's talk about some Critter AI. When a player has the ball, Critter will strafe left or right to cut off angles to the goal. But when there's a loose ball nearby, Critter will casually walk towards the ball and doesn't factor into ball speed or ball trajectory. This means that Critter chases the ball in a horrific path, leaving a huge empty net undefended. We can exploit this by using clears. By clearing the ball on your defensive half, near the midfield corner, Critter will enter this chase AI pathing and open up the net for one of your other players to slam the loose ball home. This is another shot where you'll want to practice learning the timing for when to press B for the shot, otherwise you might whiff entirely. One more thing to note is that not all clears are the same. Charging a clear will add a lot more velocity, and holding L will generate more loft. These are called lob clears. Here's a quick comparison. On the top left is an uncharged normal clear, on the top right is a charged normal clear, on the bottom left is an uncharged lob clear, and on the bottom right is a charged lob clear. Note the differences in distance and trajectories. For Nachos, I recommend using an uncharged lob clear or a charged normal clear to get the right distance. I do want to note that this shot is a good bailout if you miss a corner shot by sliding too far. You can still have a dangerous scoring opportunity either way. Final thing to note is that this can also be done off a lob pass to a clear. Let's move on to our third shot, the ground cross. This one is a true guaranteed goal if you get the shot off, but it's very hard to get the opportunity to do so. The idea is to do a short ground pass across the box in a way to get Critter to freeze, leaving a completely wide open net. There isn't too much more to explain here, as it's mostly based on the situation you are in, but you want to try targeting a ground pass that cuts in front of Critter, close enough where he doesn't strafe to readjust, but not close enough where he actually dives for the ball. Beyond that, this is still much easier said than done, as most defenses will shut the pass down. However, it is still a good mix-up from other dangerous near-goal shots like the half-stun or the box chip. Speaking of chips, our next shot is the one-tap. If you have gotten good at the box chip and the breakaway chip from the previous video, you can start using ground passes to one-time the chip. This requires some knowledge of the teammate and Critter AI to know when to fire these out, so that this is something that you'll get better at over time. This is definitely the best shot for some situations like a quick pass up to a contested breakaway. Last up isn't a single shot, but a large category of shots we'll call miscellaneous Goalie Tech. These are grouping of all the movement techniques you can do to get past Critter. I highly recommend downloading our custom Dolphin build that has a mode to 1v1 versus Critter. You can find this in the Discord, linked below. Otherwise, turn on the Legend CPU and put a controller on the enemy team so the AI won't attack you. I'll go over a few techs really quickly, but feel free to experiment and figure out what works best for you. First up is the goalie deke. Pretty self-explanatory, you deke when close to Critter to get by him. Next up is a slip and slide. Do a quick motion in one direction, and then roll your stick to the other direction to get Critter to dive. Last up, you have the Critter step. Do a quick R sprint with good timing to dash by Critter. These are all quick moves, but strict on timing, so these might be your only option if you have just enough space to go for them, while not having enough time to go for a slide shot. You can try these out with a shroom as well for some slippery offense. One final thing to say here is that these are very stylish, so if you want to get some highlight clips, you should definitely go for these when you don't actually really need to. One more bonus shot, the quick charge. Not an actual shot as we've gone over the past 10 shots, but instead a way to fake out your opponents and get a quick charge shot off. When you pivot in this game, such as doing a 180-degree movement change, you can start charging a shot in this pivot animation. This lets you get a fully charged shot off with only a brief charging animation. This is useful to quickly fire off a hard-to-react to shot, and can be comboed into many of the shots brought up in either this video or the last one. Anyways, between these two videos, that's pretty much 99% of all tech shots taken. There aren't too many more shots to talk about besides the unviable shots that have no purpose and are extremely hard to hit, but there's still plenty more to talk about in SMS. So if you have any video ideas that you want me to cover, let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching.